G'day gang, Simo and Ed here, and today we're going to talk to you about what most people are wrong about everything in your industry. So you're watching the Fastline Track Growth Show, where we talk all things karting and business. Why are most people wrong about everything in this industry?
Good question. I didn't know you were going to ask me, but I think discernment is the biggest key that you really need in business. Right? There's so much information, stuff, even stuff we're saying. Be discerning about the stuff we tell you. You know, does it really apply? Question everything is a really good motto, but don't get too jaded by it all. But discernment is the key. But the problem is there's so much stuff going on out there, and you see things around you, and you're particularly, there's like something in your system called a RAS system, reticular auricular system, I think it is, or activating system. What it does is once you buy a new car and you get, a Tesla is a good example, and then when Teslas renew, you buy one, you go, oh, there's not many of these about, and then all of a sudden you're driving down the road and
there's
a Tesla. What's happened is your vision has become more acute, it's picking up because you've now got a vested interest. And the result, most people are wrong about everything in industries because they're all following each other. And they start to go, well, I wonder what they're doing. And then once they start to wonder what the competition are doing, they go, oh, I've seen that again, I've seen that. Oh, look, have you seen what they're doing?
Yeah.
And they all start to follow. But of course, nobody actually goes, are they actually making any money at this? Are they doing a good job at it? Are their customers happy?
That's why everyone's got the longest track or the
yes,
fastest karts.
I know, because somebody just sent that out, or 10% off this week.
Yeah.
It's all that sort of stuff, and it just really is not. Nobody's really put the thought into what is really going on. They haven't been discerning about the information and putting the filters on to understand why people are saying that.
No, but I mean, if you look at any industry, what you're going to find is that at the top of the pyramid, there's 1% of businesses that are really rich.
Yeah, they're absolutely crushing it.
Yeah. And then below them, you've got 4% of businesses that are prosperous. They're doing well.
Well, not just doing well. They're doing well, but they've got disposable income on top of that, and you'll see them doing wonderful stuff regularly. And that they're always going to be at the event. They're always going to be on a nice holiday every year.
Yeah.
They're not just going well. They're doing a little bit extra that's giving them a great lifestyle.
Yeah. Then below them, you've got the next 15% that are earning a good living.
Yeah. So they're getting above average salaries. They're pulling them out regularly. There's not too many hardships. The business pretty much is always looking after itself. There's the odd time when they have to get their hands dirty. They have to put a bit of money back in occasionally, or perhaps there's a month where they don't take a bit of money out. But on the whole, it's no biggie. No. They're doing well. Nobody's starving. The kids are probably in some nice schools. They've got a couple of nice cars on the drive, nice house. They've got a good living.
Yeah. Then the next one down, you've got 60% of businesses that are struggling endlessly financially.
Yeah.
So they're scrimping and saving to pay their staff or cover a VAT bill or
credit card comes out.
Yeah.
Because the VAT's due, or put it on that credit card.
Yeah.
We'll work out a way to pay it.
We'll max out the overdraft.
Yeah, there are a few sleepless nights. There's a bit of overwhelm in there. What do I do next? I've got to sort that VAT bill out. I need to pay the credit card back, but I've got my staff are asking for this, and they're just running like here, there, everywhere. And actually, sometimes the cash becomes a like almost secondary until it isn't secondary. It becomes now it's a focus again, and that's literally they're just backwards and forwards, and it's feast famine, struggling, a tough environment.
And then at the bottom of the pyramid, you got 20% of businesses that are just broke.
Flat broke. That it's more common than you'd think. I used to have an insolvency advice business. Typically, I'd pull up at palatial offices with lovely fountains out the front, nice cars sat outside, and they go, "What are we doing?" And they go, "Well, we're not making any money and haven't done for like the last 2 years." And you're like, crikey. And it's all about that discernment that I just mentioned earlier in the video. Like, look beyond the car, look beyond Anybody who's got a fountain in the driveway of their offices is probably struggling. Is a philosophy I'd normally go on for most businesses.
Have to get rid of our fountain then, won't I?
Yeah. Let's put a duck pond in, we'll be fine. But the big takeaway is that most people in the industry are following others in the industry.
And we've just, if you look at that, only 20% of the businesses in any industry are doing well.
Yeah.
The other 80% are struggling.
That's it. So you've got statistically, you've got probably a 1 in 4 chance that you're following the right person. 3 in 4 chance you're looking at what the others are doing. Actually, the bulk of them have got no bloody idea what they're doing in your industry. So
you need to follow the right people.
Yeah, these stats are borne out all over the place. Those figures actually come from a report. We'll dig it out and put it in the comments because I can't quite remember off the top of my head where it's from. But these are reports that run time and time again across all sectors. So go-karting, this isn't unique to you. But everywhere you look, most business owners are just not doing the right thing. So you've got to be really, really discerning about who you spend your time and where you put your efforts with. There's a couple of things that are like really smart and ways to go and filter through that. I'm just going to mention Dortmund briefly.
Yeah.
We're in Dortmund in January 2023. It's an event that we run annually, or we're planning to. COVID had other ideas, but it will be an annual event. But by the time you step across the threshold into that door, you're already into a room full of the top 20% in the karting industry. Because the people that are struggling financially and here, there, everywhere, they can't afford to come. The ones who are flat broke definitely can't afford it. Right? You already know that the people that are there are doing something down their track that is absolutely spot on, and you need to find out what they're doing. And the great news is when you're in a social setting like Dortmund, where we're running the karting spectacular, guess what? You have a couple of beers, sit down, have a chat, share a few ideas. They tell you what they're doing. There's no mystery to this.
No.
And then we sit amongst them and we listen to all these things and they all tell us what they're up to. And then we bring some of that into the videos that we're doing for you, and with some of the work we're doing with some of the tracks around the globe. And we really start to get things motoring. But most people are pretty much wrong about everything in your industry.
That's right. So be careful of who you follow.
Absolutely.
I reckon that's a good point to end it. And we've broken. We're under the sub 10-minute mark. So it's cool. Woohoo! So it's goodbye from me.
Cheerio from me.
And we'll see you next week.